So now we will see how we can create a Flask app for our bird species classification model. So in this, you can see that I have created a folder named bird species classification and I have added some files into it. So let me show you all these files one by one and what are their uses. So let's see the config.py file. This is the configuration file. In this, you can see that I have created a class named config and with an object. So here you can see that I have passed a secret key as PyAnalytics. You can use any different key. In this, you have to set session cookie secure equal to true and default theme as none. Similarly, we will also create one more class, that is the development config, and we will set the debug for true. The next file is app.py. So in the app.py, you can see that whenever the main function will be called, app will run. So this is the main file for this application. Other than that, we will go to the app folder. In this, we can see the init.py file. So this init.py file is the initializer. Here you can see that we are importing Flask from Flask, and then we are passing the name of the app from using app equal to Flask name. And here we are calling the config.development config as we defined in the config.py file. After that, you can see that we are importing views from app. So let's see what is the views.py file. So views.py file is exactly same, the model that we have created. In this, we will import some of the required libraries. Here you can see that we have imported app from app. We have imported request, render template and URL from Flask. From TensorFlow.keras, we will import models because we need to load model here. Similarly, we will import NumPy for mathematical computation, PIL import image for loading the image, and string random and OS libraries also. So for any Flask app, we need to set the initial file upload path. So here we are using that app.config initial file upload and set the path as app in that static folder and in that uploads folder. After that, we are loading the model. So you need to download that model that we already created on your local machine and save it in the app static model. So you have to create a folder inside app folder, name as static, and in that a model folder, and then you have to store that model here, the bird species.h5 model that we already downloaded from our Google Colab. So this is our trained model. So as any Flask app will run, here you can see that there are two methods for that, get and post. So get is the initial method. It will execute to get the index page. It will show you the index page. And on the index page, the home page, if you perform any operation, if you perform any request, it will pass the method to post. So here in the post, we can see that we are generating unique image names. We are using letters equal to string.sky lowercase. Similarly, we are joining the name and we are passing it to uploads folder, the name of the file. Next, what we are doing, we are reading images, resizing them and saving them and pre-processing them for prediction. So here you can see that we have taken an image using the image upload and we are opening it, the image that we taken from the image upload, resizing it, setting the path for it in the initial file uploads. Then we are converting it into a NumPy array and we are changing its shape into 4 dimension. After that, we are using model.predict to predict this shape, to predict this image and save the result in result variable. And after that, we will use the ind variable and store the result using the np.argmax. And here you can see that I have passes the name of the classes which we are using in this project. So as I already told you we are using 6 classes. So these are those 6 classes. So what it will return? It will return the file name extracted text. After that, in the end, you can see that we have created a main function. So this main function will call the app to run. So this is app.run debug equal to true. Now let me show you some other important files. So in the templates, we can see the index.html file. So this index.html file is very important as it will design our front end. And in order to understand this index.html file, you should have a basic understanding of HTML and CSS. In this, we are using materialize.css, and I have stored it in the static folder, all the things that we are using for the front end. So here you can see the static folder. It contains CSS, which is the materialize.css. As I told you, you can study the documentation for materialize.css on the internet. Similarly, there is an images folder which contains the background image for our app, the background on which our app will run, the white background. We are using JavaScript, so we have also included that here, the materialize.js. This model folder contains our model that we have already pre-trained, and the uploads will contain the files, the uploaded PNG or JPG files. Now let's get back to index.html file. So in this index.html file, you can see that we have created our first container as bird species prediction made by PyAnalytics. After that, we are asking the user to upload an image in the second section and given a browse button to browse the image and upload it. After that, we can see that we will use this image and we will submit using the submit button. And after we submit, it will show us the prediction. And in the end, you can see that these are the scripts which we are using here. So these scripts are connected to the user inputs. All the user inputs will be handled by scripts as we get here. After this, let me show you some other important files. Here you can see that this is the proc file. So proc file is generally used for deployment. It tells the deployment app that which type of file it is. So it is saying that it is a web app, and Gunicon will run app from app with a timeout of 60 seconds. This is the readme file. It contains all the information that I am telling you. And after that, we'll see the requirements.txt file. So a requirements.txt file, it contains all the information, all the dependencies, the libraries which are used in this project. So we can create this requirements.txt file using the command prompt. So let me show you how you can do that. You just need to copy the path of this folder where this folder is stored and open the Anaconda command prompt. So in Anaconda command prompt, we first need to move to that folder where our project is stored. So I've copied the folder. I'm using cd, that is change directory, and I'm passing the URL for that particular folder. So here you can see that we are entered the bird species classification folder. In this, you need to run the command pip reqs. So in order to run this command, you should have pip reqs installed on a system, and if it is not installed, you can install it using pip install pip reqs. So this will install pip reqs on your system. As it is already installed on my system, so it is showing requirement already satisfied. Now we will create our requirements.txt file. So for that, we need to run the command pip reqs. So as soon as we run this command, it will render all the files that we have stored in this particular folder, and it will check the dependencies, what all libraries do we used and what are their versions. and create a file which contains those versions and the libraries. So here you can see that it is showing me a warning as I have already created it, but in your system it will not show a warning like this. Now let's install all these requirements. If you are not installed these requirements, these libraries on your system, the application won't work. So we can simply install these requirements using the pip install -r requirements.txt. So what this will does, it will install all the requirements. Oh, that's a typo. We can change that to install. And what it will does, it will install all the requirements that we mentioned in our requirements.txt file. So as I have already satisfied all the requirements here on my system, so it is not showing, it is not installed. Yeah, but it installed pillow. Now the next step and the final step is to run the application. Our application is with the name of app.py. So for running that, we need to run the command python app.py. Just make sure that you are in that folder where your application is stored, and you need to run that command in that folder only. So we'll run this. So here you can see that it is running on this URL. Let's copy this URL. Let's copy this URL and paste it in our browser to see if our app is running or not. So here you can see this is the front end of our app. I have copied that URL and pasted it here. So this is the bird species prediction app made by PyAnalytics, and now we will test this app. So we will browse an image. I have already stored some sample images in my system. So let's take those sample images and we'll predict it. Open this image and we'll click on predict. So here you can see that we have already seen this image in our Google Colab, and it was predicted as American goldfinch, and similarly here also it is predicted as American goldfinch. So our app is working absolutely fine. You can design this front end on your own using different methods, using different CSS, and make it more visually appealing. So with this, we came to an end of this application. Thank you.